Hey guys, it's the Gamer Untamed, and today I'm going to be doing my Walking Dead review. Awesome, because I bumped it up because I have a day off tomorrow because it's strike day for the union teachers. Public schools are awesome like that. I feel so summery right now. I swear I feel like the summariest person alive, sort of. I just want to tell you a little bit what's been happening lately. Aside on my last video I did, which was a couple days ago, I talked about BioWare segregating gays, and I got a few little upset messages of people who were really just getting angry about my opinion, or like one person that was really getting angry about my opinion. I just want to address it that it is just my opinion. I respect your guys' opinions, and I hope that you guys respect my opinion. So yeah, that's all. Yesterday night I watched the Walking Dead episode. It was amazing. It was so good. But it was also kind of bad. It was also kind of really boring because I'm not going to tell you what happens. But actually, yeah, well, spoilery alert. Okay, so that's what happens. Basically, what happened, which I got really annoyed at, was Daryl left with Merle. Why? Merle's a freaking piece of crap. I mean, his awesome character. His character's awesome. And Michael Rooker is awesome. Obviously. But, like, his character's such an ass. And Daryl Daryl says he's blood, but Glenn's right. The blood that's around him is, like, his friends and the people that have had his back. And Mel hasn't always had his back. Mel just left. And he was with the governor, a person that you really cannot trust. And Andrea, I don't know why the hell she's still there. I mean, she cares for the people. That's probably why she's there. But still, get out of there, woman. God, he's a freaking maniac. Everyone else sees it. It's retarded. And Rick is going off the rails, seeing Laurie in a freaking dress, in a white dress. And he thinks, the poor the poor other people that come in, Tyrese and whatever. Oh, they think it's directed at them, but it's not. It's directed at her. His anger towards Laurie being there is directed at Laurie, not them. So they're like rushing out, like, oh shit, we didn't mean to upset you and stuff. So Rick is not in the best place, and the governor's coming. So Rick is in a bit of an issue, but poor Carol, she was so upset when she found out Daryl wasn't coming back. He's got to come back, and when he comes back, I mean, he's gonna come back. There's like no doubt about it. He's like everyone's favorite character, so he can't leave. So when he comes back, I'm not saying if, but when he comes back, him and Carol, oh my god, Carol's going to be like crying and hysterical and be like, oh my god, you're back. Like that, I don't even know. That's just what I think is gonna happen, what I hope is gonna happen, because they really need to get together like now, because it's really annoying me. Ugh, no. So yeah, that's basically what's happened. Also, I wanted to show you something. It's a pin that says peer leader, because I am a peer leader. Okay, I'm a peer leader for my school, which means that I am one of the people who take care of the Year 7 classes, which means we help the Year 7s on their transition from primary school to secondary school. I sound so sophisticated. I was going to show you my glasses too, but I'm too lazy. And they also make dents, like here, so I don't want to go get them. So I have a badge that I wear on my clothes. Right there. I got my school uniform. That's all. Anyway, let's get on to the review. I had to take a little few notes because I recorded it yesterday, and I thought it was very convenient because it's Walking Dead Day. That's when I thought it was convenient. But turns out that it turned out kind of bad. So I want to take some notes so I actually know what I really want to kind of say and express it in a more of a easier flow way. So, The Walking Dead is a adventure game by Telltale Games, and it follows so I'm getting right into it. It follows the story of Lee Everett, a university professor who murdered a man for sleeping with his wife. You can decide whether this was a good decision, but at the beginning you see Lee leave Atlanta in a cop car, and he is on his way to federal prison. And in this way, it's much better that he was going out of Atlanta. He is so lucky to be going out of Atlanta. However, they actually never get to Atlanta. I mean, they actually don't get too far because there is a car accident. Poor the cop. Well, he's a little dead. Not completely dead, because it's a zombie apocalypse and, they come back. But Lee doesn't know this, so he gets out of the car and he's shouting at the cop. He's shouting. Now, I'm explaining the beginning because it's not spoilery. Face it, it's not. Everyone knows what happens in the beginning. Okay? Get over it. But for later on, I will do little spoilery bits. So I will put up a little note to say that there are spoilers ahead. Okay, so moving on. Lee he goes up to the cop because he's still got, he's got cuffs on. So he has to, unlock them and stuff. And then he kind of gets the surprise of his life. Like, legit. The surprise of his life. Like that. And he finds out that, they're clearly not human. And then more come because he's got to kill him. And all that's there is a freaking shotgun. And that attracts a lot of noise. A lot of noise. So, come the zombie people. And he's, trying to run, but he's, limping because of his leg, and he got a bit damaged in there. So he doesn't really know what these creatures are. He's all he knows is that they are not human. They're either sick humans, is what he's probably thinking, and that they're monsters. Or that they're monsters. And he is now trying to find shelter after jumping a fence to get away from them, and he's fine. Then he comes across a little girl called Clementine, because, well, we need another companion. And she's been staying in her treehouse, for quite a little bit, because her babysitter got bit, and she's all alone, and her parents are in Savannah on a holiday. So she's a bit stuffed. So Lee takes Clementine under his wing, and really just, he just cares for her, and this begins their journey about really learning what the hell happened here, although you really never find out what these creatures are. You find out you're in the middle of a freaking zombie apocalypse. And the story is just unraveling, and you find lots of people, and this is everywhere, and everything happens. But that's basically the beginning and what starts you on this wreckaging story of things. That was terrible, but that was close enough. This game is very story-driven, as is most adventure games. In The Walking Dead, you are able to make very life-changing decisions for the characters in the game. Sometimes you'll have to make the decision to say who lives and who dies. Sometimes you'll have to make the decision between who gets this apple and who gets no food. Or, who stays with you and who just gets kicked to the curb. Examples. So these decisions really in the game can drive you insane, especially when you have to deal with who's going to die, who's going to stay, those things, and also what's the highest priority of events that you should undertake first. So, being very story driven, you have to keep in mind that the decisions that you pick, the decisions that you choose, can really affect the entire way you play the rest of the game. Like, characters could end up dead. And then you're not going to have that conversation. You might not have this conversation that you could have had in the next episode. Because we know that The Walking Dead is made up of 5 episodes. 5. And I'm gonna like incorporate them all in this and talk about the generalities of it, because I'm not pulling it apart episode by episode. That's ridiculous. The gameplay is very relaxed as you go about the world, talking to others, your friends and just strangers, searching for clues and information that can help you in your, survival in this crazy ass world. QuickTime events of mashing a button, or in my case, the PC, hitting this really fast, or on the keys, hitting Q and then pressing E really fast. Those like the QuickTime events when a zombie gets really close to you, or someone is trying to hurt you, or something's trying to get in and you've got to stop it. Anything with like a pushing force, you mash. Like you freaking get angry and rant and stuff. So even when, choosing any dialogue option, unless it's the biggest decision, you have a little time bar most of the time that tells you how long you have to answer a question. Unless you're asking a question, if you're replying to that, you've got a time limit. It's bloody insane, this. It's ridiculous. I hate time limits. It's not even relevant to this, because silence often is a valid point. Even if you don't, press anything, that's what's going to happen. You're going to be silent, and then maybe someone will start to hate you, or maybe someone will just be happy that you were silent and didn't comment at all. My God, it's really weird. But, yeah, I think that's one thing that I don't like about the game. That's like the one thing that I can't stand about The Walking Dead, is the stupid timed dialogue options. Like, what the hell? I take my time to answer questions. I don't go, if someone's asking me a question, I don't go, I start talking like straight away. That's not human. Unless you have a, proper answer to the question like straight away, unless you don't have to think about it. But still, like, give it a rest. And, the actual fighting scenes also, I don't really think of that well done. They're kind of bland and simple, and especially when you're shooting at zombies in the head. Like, I have great aim when I shoot zombies in the head. Like, I do it very well, and often, like most of the time, I'd have to hit like once, and then I'd have to wait, because I've killed them all already that we're going to come out and be all like, okay, nothing left to do here. It's really bland, and I was expecting just a little bit more. I mean, I know it's an adventure game, but I still was expecting something a little more up, like less bland and boring and simple, and more a little intense. Aside from, like, you've got the axes and you're hitting things with whatever, but I just don't think it was the best gameplay for killing things. Definitely not. The style of this game is vastly different, as it provides you with a sort of comic strip graphic art style, just like resembling Robert Kirkman's Walking Dead comics. It looks like that, which I think is really, really well done. Like, relates to the Walking Dead comics, which is extremely good. It really suits the environment and the texture of, like, the people's skin and their clothes. It works. I mean, a lot of things you would have thought, yeah, this is really boring graphics. This is really low-class graphics. But no, it's not. It's just the decision to make it look comic-y, and I think that's a good decision they made to do, make it look a little more arty than realistic. And I think if it looked realistic, it wouldn't have looked as good, especially the zombies. I adore the characters that are featured in this game, the way they're portrayed. They're so well voiced, and the characterization is top-notch. I like how it doesn't apply to the comics necessarily. I mean, there are like 2 characters that you will see, and that is Glenn. This isn't a spoiler, guys. I'm not telling you when you're going to see him. Glenn and Hershel Green, there's a whistle, 2 main characters in the show and the comics. So, you know, they're cool. I was really excited, especially when I saw Glenn. I'm like, oh, Glenn! But they changed him a little bit. Just a smidge. They changed his racial background and where he's from, but he still looks Asian at the same time. Get what I mean? Although I think my favourite characters would have to be Carly. For a time I assumed that her and Lee would get together, but apparently in a zombie apocalypse, no time for romance. And also I really actually liked Clementine. I thought she would have been really annoying with her baggage, but she had a lot of funny things to say. Like, you know what? It was entertaining what she had to say, and also she had some valid points, and also she was freaking adorable. To be honest, I love all the characters for different reasons, although there are a few that I cannot stand. Lily, Larry, Duck, and Ben. Lily is a pain in the ass. She thinks she's all that. Larry just doesn't know when to shut up. He's got a big mouth, and his swearing is terrible. Oh, he's such a freaking... He's racist, too. Then you've got Duck, who doesn't go away, and is just annoying as hell. And then Ben knows nothing, and he's got no bravery and no courage. He can't even keep anyone safe. God. Larry with the most. I just needed him to die. Like, even at the beginning, as soon as I met him, I'm like, okay, you need to die soon. Like, as soon as I have the chance, I'm killing you. Like, God. So annoying. Okay, slight spoiler ahead, because I'm going to talk about my favorite games, so spoilery parts coming up. Okay, you've been warned. My favorite part about the entire games episodes was probably episode 4. It was the most intense for me at the one time. Like, I loved going to learning about Crawford. I loved going to the school. I loved finding the old folks who were like, they did better than most people. I loved finding the new characters, Molly, because a lot of characters are always introduced, which I love. And, just the fact that it was so intensifying. Like, new characters introduced all the time. Like, they're everywhere. I like how Crawford's survival of the fittest really just didn't work out for him. They just really stuffed it all up. And also all of Clementine's scenes where she has a funny quote to say. I cracked up, especially when the salt lick scene in the barn in episode 2. When she's like, "Don't lick it, it's gross." He's like, "Did you lick it?" I don't know. I should seriously do a banter on that because it was so funny, like reenact their facial expressions, because it was hilarious. Like all of her little scenes, and then there was another one where she's like, "Duck's always blaming me for stuff." He's like, "Well, did you do it?" And he's like putting a bug behind a pillow, and she's like, "Yes." It was so cute. It's adorable. God. So yeah, my favorite parts are her quote lines and episode 4 in general. Okay, the ending had a lot of people in tears. Of course, including myself being the emotional whale that I am. Of course, it was incredibly emotional and heartwarming at the same time. I was in love with it. Never not telling you what it was about because that's a major spoiler. But oh my god, it was so sad, and I just was watching and I'm like, oh my god. And I was tearing up, and I'm not even ashamed to admit how much I cried. It was so sad, it affected me. It was depressing. Oh my god, it was so depressing. I'm now going to show you my spreadsheet. I'm hoping that I can find it, but if I can't find it, then I'll just explain it. So if you see a picture, then I found it. If you didn't, then well, I didn't. So yeah. In conclusion, it was a phenomenal game. I swear it didn't have many flaws aside from the timed dialogue, and also I didn't actually mention it because I didn't really need to. But also the camera angles are really terrible. The camera angles made it really difficult to sort of like tilt around, and you'd be hitting invisible walls all over the place, so it would be really annoying. Like, here's the fence, here's me. I have to stop here. I can't go any further. It doesn't work. So yeah, it was kind of strange. But yeah. For those who haven't played it, what's wrong with you? You need to go play it like right now, because I even will play it again. It's like $24 on Steam or something for all 5 episodes. I would rate this game, let me get my hand motions right. Yes, here. I would rate this game a whoosh. Look at it. How awesome is this? 10 out of 10. For an adventure game, anyone who doesn't like adventure games, you should still go play it. Because this will turn you around because of how amazing it is. Even if it's just for this game. I'm not going to play another adventure game, trust me. But this game hit the mark. Like, it's amazing. So, please leave this video a like. Please give it a thumb up. Please add this video to your favorites. Please subscribe to my channel and leave a comment below any of your thoughts. Awesome. I need to go stay for my maths test because if I don't, I'm screwed. Yeah. I will talk to you guys later. Bye.